Hey there, my handsome and pretty little Cobras, and welcome back to the Cobras Nest. For those of you who are new, my name is Mignon Cobra and I make minimalism videos. Today's video is going to be flying through a pandemic, 5 things I learned from rereading 5 things. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. Let's get it, let's go. Woo! First thing I want to address is, yes, the background is different. I am quarantining currently, so this is not my choice of background. If you guys could just bear with it, I will do my best not to show this background in the video. So yeah, let's just get started with the points. Alright, number 1, experiences can't be taken away from you. I've been a minimalist for a while, and although I do understand that this is true, that didn't stop me from thinking that, you know what, I'm still going to accumulate really good quality things, and yeah, experiences are nice, but nice things are nicer. But after having reread it, I started to think, you know what, after moving all of these things, and there were some things that I left behind in Taiwan, and I didn't leave behind any memories. I brought them all with me, and I just feel like, yeah, he's absolutely right. Experiences are just a much more practical thing to carry around than to be lugging around quality things. Alright, number 2. It was all the things that I didn't have that were standing between me and happiness. This is totally true. In my minimalism journey, there's one thing that I have to admit that I did not give up, and I did not give up luxury items. I felt like even though I'm a minimalist, I can totally still love luxury items. I actually have a subscriber who told me that I was the only minimalist on the internet that she found that talked about luxury and minimalism. Although I do think there is another one. I forgot what her name is. Something Zoe. She's also a minimalist. But anyway, that's besides the point. And yeah, letting go of luxury items was the last thing that I let go of. I felt that if I had luxury items, I was going to be happier than if I didn't have them. But I realized that being happy doesn't have to do anything with those things. If you just decide to be happy, you're going to be happy whether or not you have those items. And it's not to say that I don't love luxury items or I think that they're bad. I think luxury items are great, but I just feel like I no longer need them to be happy, which is nice because I really did think that if I had them, I'd be that much more happier. Alright, number 3. As a maximalist, I lived in constant fear of the future. This is totally true. When I read that, I was like, ooh. Right there in the feels. Before I became a minimalist, I was constantly worrying about the future. I was just imagining worst case scenarios all the time, left and right. Once I became a minimalist, and as I've been practicing minimalism throughout the years, I've actually found that to be quite true. I worry a little bit less. Just like on a practical level, I tell myself, okay, worst case scenario, you don't have money to buy extra stuff, but you probably have enough to eat, so you're going to be okay, because at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. I already have enough clothes. I have a roof over my head. So my only worry is if I have enough money to eat. But if any of you have ever seen my budgeting videos, I really only eat on $30 a month. So I'm gonna be okay. Alright, and the next one is number 4. These objects themselves have no power. We're the ones who have raised their status. This one is gold. Although I don't try to be very philosophical with my minimalism, I try to keep my material possessions to just be tools, but there are some tools and things that I own that I definitely elevated to a certain status above others. There are certain things I prioritized over others, and I think that it's true. Fumio is right. The items don't care. The items have no opinion whatsoever about their status. The ones who give them power or give them status is us, and I think that's something that I'm going to probably shift. I still will treasure and cherish my items, but I'm going to try my best to not put things on a pedestal. I think a good example I can think of is makeup. I definitely put my luxury makeup on a higher pedestal than I did my drugstore makeup, and I don't think that that's a very healthy thing to be doing to my makeup or my items, and that's something I'm going to be changing in the future, that my drugstore is just as wonderful and special as my luxury items. It's me who makes this differentiation, and it's usually based on the monetary value, and I'm gonna stop doing that, or at least practice stop doing that. Number 5, quality time, not quality objects, leads to happiness. Whew, that was a big one. I think that in my minimalism journey, I have definitely oscillated between these two, between like no objects, just experiences, and no experiences, you can still have a little bit of objects. But I think that Fumio is right. I think at the end of the day, between the two, although both are important, I think that the experiences that you have, or at least having quality experiences, I think is a lot more beneficial than having quality items. There's nothing wrong with having quality items. I have quality items, but I think that he's absolutely correct. One is not a substitute for the other. Like if I was leading a really terrible life, luxury things were not going to make up for it. But if I didn't have luxury things, but if I had a wonderful life because I had great experiences, I think that is a life much more worth living. So definitely hit home with me, and I think that I will definitely be investing more in having quality experiences, not necessarily in the sense that I'm gonna travel the world and I'm gonna pay for experiences, but just try to make the time that I have here on this earth more meaningful and less vested in accumulating a small amount but good quality items, I'm gonna stop with that and just try to appreciate what I already have, but moving forward, invest in more quality time. On another note, I just kind of want to tell you guys about what it was like experiencing flying through a pandemic. It was interesting. There wasn't a lot of people, so that was kind of like good and bad. It was very lonely in the airport. There was like nobody there. The duty free was like, I'd say like 60% closed. Only certain shops were open, and just like a tiny little food court. It was weird. It had like that very apocalyptic kind of feeling. But on the plus side, lines were very short. It was really easy to get on and get off the plane and file through customs. It was like catching like the 1 a.m. flight where there's like nobody. It was kind of like that. And there was almost nobody on the plane, so I was able to lie down on like the chairs. So it was kind of like having first class. Lying down is very helpful. So it was kind of like having first class service for economy price. The price also was really expensive. For a one-way ticket, I had to pay $2,200. Normally that ticket would have been half that price, only $1,000 something. But with nobody flying, the flyers have to pay more to keep the airlines going, so I can understand that. But yeah, it was an interesting experience. This might be one that I'll be able to tell my grandkids about. Anyway, thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.